Welcome back. And earlier we were talking about the resumption of the Russian tourism to Egypt. Of course, we all know that the Russian tourism is one of its most important or the favorite destinations for the Russian tourism is Egypt, and particularly in Hurghada. And today we are going to talk about the Russian tourism and coming back full force in Egypt. With us live over the phone is Dr. Yehia Abdul. Good morning, doctor, and he's a tourism expert, of course. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning, Ms. Dina.
Happy Ramadan to you.
Thank you.
Let's first talk about the importance of the Russian tourism. Of course, we all know that the Russian tourism and Russian nationals in general, they form a great percentage when it comes to the tourism venue in Egypt, and they love Egypt, they work in Egypt. There is a cultural bilateral relations and cultural common background between Egypt and Russia. Talk to us about the importance of the Russian tourism.
Well, Russian tourism really has been, very accustomed to Egypt a long time ago, and Egypt has traditionally and historically strong ties with Russia long time ago. So even like the Hayu that we call mosque, this is named from, one of the Muluks who came from Moscow 500 years ago. In 2010, that was the climax of Russian tourism to Egypt, where we received 3 million visitors, and they were followed by German, Italian, and Saudi, which each accredited for 500,000 visitors. So it accounts for 25% of the total mass of international travel to Egypt. This shows the volume of Egyptian travel to Egypt. But since 2015, we had a long pause. So inshallah, travel will be resumed as of next June, early into June coming month.
Right, exactly. Hurghada is one of the main attractive spots that is visited by the Russian tourism. What other places also that are favored by the Russian tourism?
Well, last week, His Excellency the Russian ambassador in the press conference in Hurghada with the Red Sea governor, where he commented about the initiative of the Egyptian government to combat the coronavirus, plus upgrading the quality of hospitality services and tourist outlets, including transportation system, and notably the Hurghada International Airport terminals. So this is where the visitors coming next month, they will be landing their planes. And Mr. Forbayev, the Consul General of Russia in Hurghada, is holding a celebration and festival tomorrow to welcome back, Russian tours coming back to Egypt. Namely, they love Qader because it's warm weather, and this is where Russian visitors, they are aesthetic and active. They like parasailing, diving, doing safari, in the afternoon and the evening. And most of them, they travel to Cairo to do the Egyptian Museum, to go to the State Museum as well, visit the Giza Pyramid and the Saqqara Necropolis, and then they return back to Hurghada to continue their attendance.
How would we return the boosting and the empowering of this type of industry? And what about the economic importance of the resumption of the flow of Russian tourists to Egypt?
Well, really, it's an excellent boost for the economy because of many reasons. As I mentioned, the Russian tours, they are targeting, the Red Sea region of Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada, because as of next June, we'll be receiving 2 daily flights, one to Sharm el-Sheikh and one to Hurghada, plus other 5 flights directly from Moscow to Cairo, and then an extra flight from St. Petersburg to Cairo. So this is a mass volume. And a large number of the tours, they travel to Luxor, where they visit the Karnak Temple and 8 sanctuaries, and then they go to the Valley of the Kings and the Hatshepsut Temple as well. So they move all over the country, like Cairo, the capital, Red Sea region, Sharm el-Sheikh, and Hurghada, and they go to Luqman and Aswan as well. So that shows you like the divergence of their contribution to the Egyptian economy. As well as we have two great museums, one in Sharm el-Sheikh and one in Hurghada, where they can do teletours, and enjoy the heritage and culture of Egypt.
Usually, each type of tourism would come at a different season to Egypt, and most of the professionals in that particular field, the field of tourism, they know that each season would attract different tourists. What is the favorite season for the Russian tourism, and why exactly do they choose a specific spot? Are they interested in gastronomy? Are they interested in the cultural tourism? Are they interested in the beaches? What exactly that would attract the Russian tourism to Egypt?
Well, Russian tourists, like I saw them in Egypt and in the Gulf and worldwide, they are sophisticated travelers. By nature, they love culture, they have the ballet, the Tchaikovsky, the music, and when they go to school, they spend long times and hours doing athletics, and games and sports. So it's an A type of visitors who like to come and practice, aquatics, and they like to travel, and like to do Bedouin evenings, and they love museums as well. So this is really one of the areas that is good for our benefit. As well as when it was announced that Russian tours will come to Egypt, so more tours will be coming on the 23rd of May from Czech Republic to Hurghada. We'll have 2 flights per week. This is an association with Egypt Air, as well as Turkish Airlines as well, jointly with Egypt Air. We will have direct flights from Switzerland, from Germany, from Austria, to Hurghada and Salem as well. So this shows, the type of visitors we have and their contribution to our culture and the economic development for tourism and hospitality.
How can we use that particular booming tourism? We all know that the Russian tourism to Hurghada and the Red Sea in general is very popular, and it has history also. How can we use that particular front to be able to promote for tourism in the Red Sea?
Well, really, we must be fortunate because, as we know about the, spreading, pandemic, globally. So lots of countries have been locked down and, not even allowing any visitors to come in. So this is due to the initiatives of the Ministry of Health in Egypt and the government that 30,000 of the workers in Hurghada, they have been vaccinated and immunized, and all the facilities have been checked by Ms. Ghada Shalabi, the Associate Minister of Tourism. So really we have to prove this, and I'd like to state them that how can we make advantage of this, because we can promote it digitally and through fan trips and road shows, that the minister has to do to attract visitors and to declare to the whole generating market so that we have safe, stable, and an interesting and entertaining resort region in the Red Sea in Egypt, all the way from Dahab to Sharm el-Sheikh to Hurghada and to Marsa.
Right. We all know that there is an upcoming Lesser Bayram coming over, and earlier it was Easter, and there is a lot of festivities during those days. And as we are preparing for quite a long vacation, celebrating the Lesser Bayram or Eid al-Fitr, what are the preparations, especially that this season is going to be a little bit different because of the pandemic? Yet still, the Red Sea and those areas are safe enough, other than other spots in the world, to be able to spend vacations at, because it's open area and because of the healthy environment and because of too many elements. So what are the preparations for the people in this field, in the medium?
Well, actually, like for like health and medical reasons, like Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, Prime Minister, jointly with the Minister of Health, Medical Services, they announced that there's going to be, like a lockdown for entertainment, for beaches, for resorts, for the Eid Bayram, like Yusuf Bayram vacation, because of the, like the prevalence, like of this third wave, like of the coronavirus. So we're going to be a little bit strict with this Ramadan, and staying healthy is better than being exposed to, like unwanted, like spread of pandemic, which is really making the whole world, like looks gloomy at this time of the year. So every year we'll be celebrating, and our beaches will be open, and our resorts and movie theaters, like entertainment. But for the this vacation will be restricted a little bit to stay healthy, inshallah, and go through this, like trouble.
Right. Usually, with the inauguration of a number of museums here in Cairo and all over Egypt, we have noticed that it's not only a spot or a museum to show off the relics or the antiquities or history, but also museums for civilization, for culture, for science, for a lot of other important modern elements of the momentum. So how do you see the promoting that particular idea amongst tourism when it comes to those museums?
Well, really, like on April 3rd, when we opened, like the Al-Fustat Museum for Civilization, and we had the Royal Parade, that really was, like sensational and extravaganza for the whole world. Since this time, we had like thousands of visitors lining up to visit Al-Fustat Museum. But one night we have 5,000 and 7,000. So generating business, and many media of travel and photographers and documentaries worldwide, they've been recording this. And with the bloggers as well and YouTubers, so it has been a phenomenon, and it's going to be a catch, because we received many requests from world media that would like to come to Egypt and visit the Civilization Museum, which is just like opened like a month ago. So this is a great push for tourism, and inshallah, when the Grand Egyptian Museum will open in October, this is going to be, like the tip of the iceberg, like the icing of the cake. We'll be having, like flooding of international tours and groups, inshallah.
You were talking about the anticipation of everyone in the world for the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum. In your own perception, how would you see that this, the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum, going to add to the tourism industry in Egypt?
Well, like it has been long awaited, like icons of all world. We know the volume of artifacts, unique ones that it holds, over 100,000 artifacts, and the whole collection of the Golden King, like Tutankhamun, and like the statues of Ramesses, and even the some boats of Cheops. Currently the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities are moving them to be within the framework of the Grand Egyptian Museum. So this is a momentous icon location for heritage and civilization. You need a minimum of 3 days, like to tour the facilities and the sophisticated outfits and facilities it has, from convention, from the Children's Museum, from attractions. So this is going to be a great boost for Egyptian tourism. And inshallah, by October, we'll see the influx of travelers and regional ones and local ones as well, like to enjoy the rare collections of this unique project.
With the unprecedented and huge infrastructural projects, and also the inauguration of the new Alamein city, and new totally different cities that is going to take Egypt to a whole new level of tourism, of and that type of industry, a boom in that type of industry. How do you expect this type of tourism to add to the future of tourism in Egypt?
Well, thank you for telling me about this thing, because the Ministry of Transportation has been, making a budget of billions, to upgrade, status of the railways, all the way, from the Delta up to Aswan and Upper Egypt, and with the bullet train that will be linking, Sofna to administrative capital, Al-Maladariyah, up to Alamein. This is going to be accessible for world navigation, because we have seaport in both Sofna and Alamein. So it's going to be a great link with Great Sea and Mediterranean, and it will rehabilitate business, development, real estate, education, and tourism, hospitality, and heritage as well. Yes, this is going to be a great boost, and we look forward to within 2 years we'll have this project completed. The whole travel industry will benefit from it.
Right. And also talking about, of course, we cannot talk about any industry, anything that's happening in the whole world now without the implications of the pandemic. How have the pandemic added to speed up the digital tourism that Egypt was going to affect sooner or later in Egypt? Hello?
Yes, we benefited from that really, because the ministry, had a strategy that we have lots of virtual, promotional, campaigns that has been launched since March of last year. And that has an excellent feedback for viewers worldwide. And a number of them have been telling the tour guides in Egypt that as soon as air flights between Egypt and Europe, for example, will resume, will be coming to do our regular tours of Egypt. So with the Ministry of Tourism really didn't stand still during this, difficult times, but they launched the campaign, and shortly they will have road shows and fan trips, and within next week they will be joining the travel market show in Dubai. This is one of the top travel shows worldwide. So we've been active, digitally, and promote tourism, and apart from the restrictions that's imposed by the pandemic, now we have the IATA travel pass that makes travel accessible. We have the green pass as well. The African Union is having the travel pass. So this will facilitate travel, and let us remember that there are whole countries that has been totally vaccinated and immunized. United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, New Zealand, and lots of countries worldwide, nearly 70% of the population in Germany. So with the ongoing increase of citizens and travelers who get vaccinated, within the next 2 months is going to be growing travel and increase in the volume of global travel.
Dr. Yehia Abdul, a tourism expert, would like to thank you so much talking to the Breakfast Show, and you have a beautiful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. And we're going to go to a short break, and we'll come to continue the Breakfast Show, so stay with us.